Hey, what's going on, everybody? Another exciting issue or episode of Comic Book Geeks, joined by yours truly, Shane, in my studio, and then along with Mike and Jeff down below. And we got some good stuff for you this month. How you guys all doing, first of all?
Doing good, man.
All right.
Yeah,
it was actually a really fun month for comic books.
Definitely seemed like it.
Month or the month ahead?
The
month we just had was really good. It had
we're recapping the
X-Men
month
97.
Yeah.
Had some great comic books to read. A couple books that really surprised me and got me excited. And that's nice. When you read friggin' everything like you do when you run a store, sometimes you can get a little burnt out on it. And there were a couple books that really made me feel the wonder again, and that I really enjoyed.
I can imagine. So let's start off with what happened this month in comics. Anything cool? I know it was Free Comic Book Day. Mike, you had a good time at Golden Apple?
Yeah, I was at Golden Apple. I used to put together Free Comic Day events back in the day, and the last year and this year I've volunteered at Golden Apple. I would have been at Jeffrey's, but that was not in the fates for 2024. But we had a wonderful time. My son, my wife went. They put me in charge of the Disney Plus Steelbooks. Version. So I got all of these Steelbooks.
They're all blurring out.
I know. Well, we can.
There you go.
What a perfect person to put in charge of that. I know you love those Steelbooks.
You know when you get like free shit, but it wasn't something that was on your list of things to buy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's cool, but this was all stuff that I planned on buying.
That's fucking cool. Are those actually like the series? Are they Blu-rays?
Yeah, they're Steelbooks.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
So I got those. I mean, they had, but pretty much everybody who came to Golden Apple for Free Comic Day got those. And we also got these cool coupons.
Wow, they got free Steelbook DVDs?
Yeah. Like hundreds of each one.
Are they DVDs or Blu-rays?
Blu-rays. Blu-rays and 4K. Blu-rays and 4K.
Shit. For free?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Most of the people walked away.
That's awesome.
Golden Apple just knows how to do it.
They had 10 set up in the back. You go back there and you answer like a trivia question. One of the ones I got right. I'll throw you guys the question. We'll see if you're not going to win one of my CDs, okay? But I'll just to play. What actor requested that his name not be in the credits of the original Star Wars 1977 movie, but by the time of Return of the Jedi, wanted his name listed in the credits?
Beats
Alec
me.
Guinness?
Nope.
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones, yes. A pretty easy question, yeah.
I figured because I never saw him on the credits for some reason. Just because I guess he was just the voice. He was like,
Well, he's in there, yeah. He's on the credits, yeah. But he didn't want his name on there at first. But anyway, so real easy, like soft cost questions, and then you win a DVD or 2 DVD. I mean, they had stacks and stacks to get rid of. And they had free Pink's hot dogs coupons.
That's cool.
So yeah, and all the hot dogs were themed after the Moon Knight or Winter Soldier. The Obi-Wan what was the Ben Pastrami or something like that? It was a pastrami dog.
Ben Pastrami.
Something like that. Yeah. And then of course there were the Free Comic Day books that most comic shops had. Conan is great. This is you'll have to impose this on later.
Yeah, just send a picture of them just because it keeps getting blurred. I don't know what you're doing. You're showing us some nudie books or something.
No, I don't have any nudie books. Well, I do, but I got a funny story. So I'm at work today, and I have a porno movie called Batman XXX, and my son was here, and my wife was watching them because she's making him breakfast and stuff. So he puts this movie on, and she's like, "Oh, what's this?" And he said, "It's Batman 30." XXX, like Super Bowl 30. And of course, Batman's utility belt comes off 10 minutes in, and
It took 10 minutes to find out it was
maybe
porno.
not. Axel Braun. Anyway, it's a really nicely done porno, but he knew what he's 16. He knew what he was doing, and certainly when I was 16, I'd seen this. I just don't want him watching it in my house. He can watch it at his
With
mom's
your wife?
house.
Well, I mean, you
watching
had
it in your house with your wife?
Yeah, that's even weirder. But no, I mean, she halted the proceedings, and she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's Batman 30." It's like, no, it's Batman XXX. So anyway, that's my little tidbit to get the show going this morning.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should hide that better.
Well, he didn't used to go. He had no interest in media, and in the X-Men '97, I'm blaming X-Men '97 because the way my DVD collection is organized, it's X-Men
next to
and then Triple X movie. Yes, alphabetical, right? So
maybe the porn shouldn't be in the alphabetical order of
I don't
movies.
normally have kids going through my collection. I do have to reconfigure some shit because I also have Star Trek Triple X. And yeah, and Ninja Turtles. Don't ask.
You don't have the Dragon Balls? Remember when we had that one?
Oh yeah,
bootleg.
That was animated, wasn't it?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, I remember. Well, there's actually a porn actress named April O'Neil, so of course there's got to be a Ninja Turtles porn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that. I got it for free. I think I got all of them.
Sure. You did. I'm pretty sure you got it for
At
free. And you
Golden
didn't pre-order that one.
No, they have a hard time selling porn DVDs these days. I bet. So readily.
You're the only person I know that has physical porn.
Him and Eminem.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, Eminem does too?
Yeah, there's this really famous interview where he has someone over and he just is showing off his porn collection and he's really proud of it. And the interviewer's like, you don't just use the internet? And Eminem didn't understand the internet. And so he's being taught the internet and internet porn in this interview.
Wow, it's how to. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
If I own any porno, it usually has a purpose, like
parody,
it's or a Ninja Turtle.
It needs to have a good story.
Well, it has a reason for being there other than just it's sex, I've got the Italian Stallion, which is Sylvester Stallone's first movie, and that's a porno. I have some of Jeffrey's dad's movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
True story. Flesh Gordon, he's in that.
Oh wow.
He's a door guard.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
So there's a tidbit for you. Anyway, I think we got off track. Free Comic Day was awesome. The wieners were amazing. Weren't they, baby? Did you like your wiener? Yeah, the hot dogs are great. And I mean, it was a great crowd, and it's something that as long as I'm around, I definitely want to be. I kind of miss certain elements of working at a comic shop, and that's seeing in this community, this geek community in LA. That's why I'm with Jeffrey every Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's a fun time hanging out there.
To see the guys, and talk shit and talk comics, talk whatever. Usually I wind up talking to Rideau most of the time, but yeah, that's something it's always going to be a part of my life, no matter what direction I'm going professionally or whatever. I'm writing comic books still, and I still have my toes in the water, as it were. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that being said, how was your free comic book day, Jeff? I know you did it in Santa Monica, right?
Yeah, I did a book fair called Y'all West, and I just really enjoy doing book fairs, and I want to find more of them because I just do 2, and they're back to back, so it's an exhausting 3-week stint. But I just exactly like what Mike was saying. There's some things that I really miss about running a comic book store. And the thing that I got to do at the book fair was not necessarily talk with people who had deep entrenched knowledge of comic books, but to talk to people about, hey, this is a book that's new to you and this experience. Like I sold a lot of my favorite books. And that's kind of what my business model is for these pop-up versions of Jeffries, is not to have the 1,000 different X-Men titles. It's to have the 5 or 10 that you really need to read so that I can really put my stamp of approval on everything that's in the booth. And so that was kind of the idea I went with. And so it was just a great moment where I was selling my favorite Harley Quinn book, and someone else who I wasn't talking to heard my pitch to the first person and came and bought it too. And and that just, it felt good. And
which
I
one is your
also
favorite
know
Harley Quinn book?
It's the White Knight presents Harley Quinn.
Oh, White
the
Knight
Sean Gordon
is so
Murphy book.
good.
Murphy,
That was such a
Fantastic,
good
man.
run.
It's
I
so
love that
good.
version of Harley.
It's so empowering for the character, because there's a lot of stuff about that origin. She's an abused girlfriend that keeps going back to her abuser.
Yep.
And this kind of takes that, and it doesn't erase any of it, but it puts a bunch of great subtext that really gives her so much more agency in that story. Like, the big change that it has is that the Joker is slowly going crazier. So when they start, he's just a really clever, charming criminal, and he slowly gets worse and worse and worse to the point where she leaves him. But it just gives you the start of that as an actual romance story. There's like pages in it where you're genuinely charmed by their relationship. And then, but then also there's a point where she reaches her tipping point, or breaking point, and she's like, no, you don't get to do this to me. And she bolts. And it's so good. It's so good. It's a bit too adult for my daughter because she's 4, but I can't wait for it to be one of the books that I give to her when she's maybe 12.
Yeah, there you go. Any other crazy stuff happened this month in the world of comics? I know we'll talk about some other stuff.
I mean, X-Men 97 is what everybody and the mama was talking about.
Yes.
So that ending in such a satisfying way that everybody was obviously enjoyed. Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, this is the most I have seen, like, comic books in the zeitgeist. Like, when you just go online, people are talking about X-Men, and it's the most that I've ever seen since basically Endgame. And I think that's a testament to how important it is to actually do a good job. So I feel like Marvel just hasn't been doing a good job.
Their animation is not very good.
The other stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And then X-Men 97 comes
really
along
good.
and just kills it.
So quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Keep going.
But like the movies, like even the ones that I really liked, Doctor Strange, but I know not everybody did. And it had that moment in the alternate universe where everybody was talking about that moment. But that was more kind of as a wow factor than, oh, this is a good story. But that's still something. But like the Eternals, like this whole last batch of movies, at best is okay. Because it's like Guardians 3 is okay. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is the one I would
think
actually
it was the better
attest
out of
as a
the
good
bunch.
movie.
Yeah.
And then like I actually liked Ant-Man and Quantumania, but some people really didn't. But like I don't really like it. It was just okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you can't have your best movies be just okay. They need to be the X-Men 97 of movies. Like that's why Marvel became what it is, because like Marvel was in their own basement making their own movies. They made Iron Man themselves. This was before Disney, and it's why Disney bought them. And they need to be doing more stuff like that where it makes people sit up and say, whoa, holy shit, this is amazing. And I'm trying to think of the last, oh shit, this is amazing that Marvel put out. And it's X-Men 97 now. But before that, I can't think of it. Loki for me, but that is really deep, heavy sci-fi, so I understand why that's not for everybody, because it's got like time travel, which I know is a turnoff for some people, but it's a major turn-on for me, and like time loops, which some people don't like, and so there's a lot to get through to get into Loki and enjoy it. But I love Loki. I think that is a testament to how great their TV shows can be, but I also understand what didn't fill up the zeitgeist with people talking about it in the way that X-Men 97 is. Like, you can't go online in the comic book sphere and not see people talking about X-Men 97.
Well, real quick, break down the comics season 2 is going to be focused on.
All right, so season 2 seems like they're going for 3 things. One is an original story, but it's taking over a story from the comic books. One is called Cyclops and Jean Grey, The Adventures of Cyclops and Jean Grey, I think is the technical name for it. And this is a story where the two of them get like sucked into a time vortex, and they wake up in the era that Nathan Summers is raised. And so this is the book that retconned it so that Cyclops and Jean Grey actually really are Nathan's parents. They do raise him because they were stuck in these bodies in the future, and they're stuck there for a long time before they come back to our era. So like this comic book is 4 months, but it's technically like, I don't know, 5 years or a decade in their lives. And then the same thing happens again because there's a sequel. So that's one of the ones they're obviously referencing, but they have a couple people along for the ride because in the comic book it's just 2 of them, and you saw in the show that it's more, that the other X-Men are there. And then the other one is the Rise of Apocalypse, which is the battle in Egypt where they saw a bunch of people fighting, and he says, "What's your name?" It goes Ensabanur, and they didn't spoon feed you that one, because I'm like, I don't think everybody knows that that's Apocalypse's real name. Like, I know what this is. I knew what it is as soon as we saw the pyramids.
I knew it was going to be that way too, just by the look of him. I was like, oh, that's Apocalypse.
What? Because he has the lip.
Yeah, I didn't know it was his name. I was like, I don't know his name.
But I liked
Apocalypse.
I liked seeing him there, and then the one Easter egg they gave us. The one cutscene they gave us in the whole series, I kept watching credits every week. I was like, there's going to be a cutscene at the end of these credits. Never was, except for that one with the Apocalypse at the end. And he's walking through Genosha, and he picks up a dust and says, "There's so much death," and blows away the dust, and it's a card. Obviously, playing card is one of Gambit's cards.
Oh, yeah, Gambit's going to be
and
death,
right? The implication there is that he's going to take Gambit and bring him back to life as Death, the Horseman of Apocalypse, which has happened to the X-Men twice. One time it was Angel, and he turned into Archangel, and one time it was Wolverine, and that was the explanation for how he got his adamantium back. Apparently the one that, if I'm remembering correctly, the one that got his adamantium ripped out was actually a Skrull.
So
Mike,
do you remember this?
25?
What?
In X-Men 25, that was a Skrull?
Well, because how does he get it back? Well, because at one point
In
they
the
have,
comic or the show?
yeah, in the comic book, at one point Wolverine shows up and he's Death, the Horseman of Apocalypse, and it's revealed that the Wolverine that's on the X-Men is not really Wolverine.
I just thought they just gave... I remember when they tried to put it back on him and his body rejected it, right?
They should have like an infographic for Skrulls and like which issues of the comic book.
I think it was a Skrull, but I kind of dipped out of X-Men by that point, probably.
Speaking of Skrulls, Marvel Secret Wars is going to be a standalone movie. It's going to be put in 2 movies, right? That's from what I've been reading. Coming out.
I don't know, ways away.
May
I mean,
7th.
we'll see if they get there. I don't know how many people really. Yeah, we'll see if they get there. I don't know how many people give a shit about Agatha Harkness and the Vision show.
Yeah,
that's Yeah, that's the thing. That's going to be a standalone show too, right, Agatha?
Yeah, it's standalone, but it's all spun out of WandaVision, and yeah, I don't know. I think that spin-offs of spin-offs, you know, in my opinion, I love comic books. I love these shows. I love the movies, but don't have any interest in Agatha, and I don't think the general population will
Do you
give.
think we're reaching a fatigue in all of this? There's so much.
I guess I am. You know,
especially people
I'm
who
glad
read
that there's
stacks and
only
stacks of comics, and we're getting tired
right.
of it.
I mean, obviously I'm not too fatigued because I'm spending $50-$60 a week on comics, but I'm happy that there's only really one comic book movie this year to see, the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and because it does get to be a bit of a chore. Like what I enjoy is having space to like get hyped for something, and read the articles and magazines, maybe collect some of the toys involved, the Happy Meals, a Mondo poster or whatever. Just build up. And, got to a point where it was like every 3 months was a new movie, and it wasn't financially possible to go all in like I used to like to do. Get the soundtrack and on vinyl and get the poster or whatever, So I like that there's not as much content this year. But it's trippy because people aren't going to the movies, man. I mean, Furiosa flopped this week.
I heard it's got nothing but good reviews. Like,
it's got nothing but good reviews, but still nobody went to see it. I went to see it. You didn't go, Shane. It's all your fault.
Have you seen it yet, Jim?
I know you're going. No, but it did $25 million against $160 million budget.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Fall Guy flopped. That I was excited about that. I guess nobody else was.
Yeah, they flopped it and then announced that it's going to be digital like 2 weeks after the release in the movie theater.
It's out now digitally, streaming.
And I think that's certainly part of it. I know that if I miss something, I'm just going to be able to watch it
at
home.
Later,
Yeah.
That's like I finally was able to watch Dune 2, and I have a huge TV with a sound system. I was like, cool, I could pause it if I need to go to the bathroom. Like,
But they won't be able to continue to make movies with those budgets if that becomes the way an audience behaves. I'm not shaming.
Well, everybody
all vote,
but Dune is a success. Dune was a wild success, right?
Dune was, yeah.
Dune was.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's.
I heard they didn't. Didn't flop.
Going back to X-Men '97, I think if you do a good job, it's going to work. Except, I've only heard that
streaming, So it was
I've only heard that Furiosa was great.
Well, let's make a prediction. What do you guys predict Deadpool Wolverine's going to do opening weekend?
I think it's probably going to hit 100 million, easy.
Yeah.
You think so?
I take the over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say 90.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll hit 100 mil easy.
I hope it does. But I don't think it's going to. It might.
I think it's also going to have really good word of mouth. I think it's going to have a longer tail than these other movies, because also, like, the other thing that's screwing up movies is that, like, after that first weekend, it's a
drops off
nosedive. Whereas, like, movies used to, stick in the movie theater for months. And that's just not happening anymore.
Yeah, real quick, what's the baseline for the Deadpool Wolverine? Doesn't Deadpool get sucked into another universe and then Wolverine's still alive?
No, he's brought in by the Loki people, the Time Variance Authority, and he has to go through alternate timelines to try to put a stop to Cassandra Nova, the twin sister of Professor X. And the person he decides is the best to do that is a Wolverine, because it's not necessarily the Wolverine from
Logan, right?
The movies. Yeah, they're not undoing Logan.
That's why he has the original outfit on.
Like, there's a hint in the commercial that it might be Old Man Logan, even, because he's like because he says like, I know it's been a while since you've popped your claws or something like that. Like there's an implication that Wolverine has been retired for a while.
Because I know it was just like what you saw Ant-Man's head. It was like they're using that as a base and everything, and so it could be Old Man Logan because it looks post-apocalyptic and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I mean, it should be interesting.
But I think that there's going to be a bunch of cameos that people really lose their shit over, and that's going to
it's going to be a lot of fan service. Ton of fan service.
I think it is.
And that's probably what's going to send.
The director has come out and said you don't need to see anything else. This is a standalone movie. But I think there's going to be so many little hat nods that it's going to have a longer tail because people are going to be like, oh, wait, that dude's in it? Oh, wait, Patrick Stewart is in it? I want to go see it now. Like stuff that I totally understand why they can't give it away in the commercials, but they will start giving it away in the commercials very quickly because they want that money, and people will go spend the money if they know they're going to get all of these fun little cameos in it.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, we literally don't have anything between now, which is May 27th today, and the end of July, which is when Deadpool Wolverine comes out. You got Bad Boys 4 coming out next week.
I'm cool.
And you got like Despicable Me 4. You've got Inside Out 2, which both of those I don't understand because they're like old franchise and they're, I don't know. I
mean, I totally get Inside Out, but I have a.
Well, when did the last one come out? Like 10 years ago?
It's a long ways away, but it's also about a kid who is now a teenager. So like 10 years passes.
Toy Story. We're talking Inside Out, which is like, waning days of good Pixar. I think
I would easily put Inside Out up on the same level as Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
Now it wasn't anywhere near as commercial a success, so
that's
certainly
it's interesting why they're even like going to bring that back.
I mean, did either of you see the first one?
Yeah, Now they're adding more emotions.
I don't think it was anything near the level of Toy Story, in my opinion, but financially or otherwise. But that we can agree to disagree, and that's what makes these shows good. There's just nothing before Deadpool Wolverine. Then after Deadpool Wolverine, we're looking at Borderlands.
Borderlands should be okay. I like the games. I think it was an interesting choice that they went with Jack Black as the voice of Claptrap because the voice of the character in the games is so iconic. It kind of like threw me off. I was like, And Kevin Hart being the soldier, I was like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't think people
Borderlands is all. I'm not a big gamer by any means. Like the attraction to Borderland is how batshit crazy it is, right?
Yeah. Basically, it's supposed to be over the top, but I guess some people had some problems with the casting. But we'll see. I'm still gonna watch it because I loved that game. When that game came out,
I'm gonna go.
I mean, I just watched Fallout, and I've never played a minute of the game.
Yeah. You didn't need to. Fallout was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I played
a lot
of
fun.
the games.
Yeah.
So I guess it's.
And you got Alien Romulus.
Hopefully that's okay. Is it James Cameron doing it?
No, it's the guy who did the Evil Dead movie, not Sam Raimi, but the Evil Dead that came out about 6 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That should be all right.
So it'll be violent and suspenseful.
I mean, as you can tell, I'm a huge Aliens fan, so.
Oh yeah, no, I think it'll be fine. It was originally being made for HBO Max, and then they did what they did with Blue Beetle, because that was originally going to be a TV, streaming movie, and they just upgraded it a little bit to theatrical. I think because of the strike, they're trying to fill in some movie theater time.
Makes sense.
And so it's a real light summer. Deadpool Wolverine is pretty much it, now.
I know.
I mean, Borderlands there's no way it's going to be must see, Like some people will like it. I'm sure it'll be fine. And same with Alien. It's kind of, I like Alien and Aliens a lot, and I like Alien Resurrection, but it's kind of a tired franchise, overall.
I like the new comics that Marvel's putting out. I don't have any next to me, but I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
They're pretty good as standalone comics. But I guess it does get worn out because how many things can you do? It's just always Weyland-Yutani, bad. They want the alien. Oh no, they have the alien on a research vessel. Oh no, one got out. Oh no, an alien's on a predator ship. Oh no, it got out. It's kind of the same thing over and over.
It's not going to reinvent the wheel here, but it's. So that's summer, man. That's it. And then if you want to go into September, you got Beetlejuice too.
I'm excited for that. Tim Burton's
that looks like a lot of fun.
It looks
great.
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. Hopefully that goes out. But
I was thinking about that the other day because remember, well, you guys are probably too young, but when Batman '89 came out,
I wasn't even
Michael
born
Keaton
yet.
was playing Batman, and Adam West was mad as hell, right? And Adam West was like maybe 55 years old at the time. He's like, I can still be Batman. What the hell? Why aren't I Batman? And they're like, oh, he's too old. And here's Michael Keaton, almost 70, and he looks great as Beetlejuice. He looked great, and he was the redeeming quality of the Flash movie.
Yeah.
So maybe Adam West could have been Batman.
That would have been a totally different movie. Let's go, Robin.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, the
Maybe
big
it's because I'm 50 now and I'm starting to think like I could be Batman.
No, but
Anyway.
yeah, so a light summer for movies. Good animation come out. I want to interject something real quick. I was talking to you guys earlier. I got to play Magic the Gathering at a heavy metal show, and I got a bunch of cool cards. I got to actually rustic study out of it. So
you said you were playing in the pit?
Yes, in the pit.
Were there people moshing
around me? Yeah. So this band Frozen Soul, shout out to them, killer death metal band, old school death metal band from Texas. They're huge Magic the Gathering fans, and I also won a hat. Well, it's up there, Magic the Gathering hat that the band signed, which was cool because I reached out. The singer put a thing out on Instagram. He was like, "Who wants to get down on the pit for Magic?" And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So he was tossing out packs too. So a bunch of people were in the pit just playing Magic, and we were all cracking packs. They were the jumpstart packs. So it was just shuffle them up
to play,
and then you just start playing. So it was while one song was going, we just one round in, and my buddy who doesn't know how to play. I sent him a 15-minute video. I was like, here, look, you're gonna learn how to play real quick, just in case we get to, play Magic in the pit. And it was just me and him arguing. There's a video. I'll have it probably playing right now. Just me, no, you do this. But while people are running around us. Huh?
Could you hear each other well? I'm just thinking of the
absolutely not. We're just you just see me going like this. No, tap that, just me arguing how to play Magic. But I got hooked up with a bunch of cool cards, a lot of good rares, some of the Lord of the Rings set, a bunch of stuff. That Ristic
Did the band get their name from a Magic card or something?
What's up?
Did the band's name come from Magic together?
Probably. They're I don't know. They do a song about the thing. They got some cool nerdy songs.
I need that song.
Yeah, but I know Ristic Study. I think this is when I looked it up, it's a $50 card. So I was like, that's cool.
It's a very valuable card.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool.
But now it's got what do they call that? Emotional value or
yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Sentimental.
Yeah, got a story behind it.
I had fun. I love Frozen Soul. I've seen them a bunch of times. If you guys get a chance, you want some old school death metal stuff or something when you're angry to listen to, check out Frozen Soul.
Yeah, at pre-comic day, you couldn't go because you were having a metal fest at your house.
Yeah.
It was Conan the Barbarian.
The
band
Sumerian, another good band. They sing about, I forget I did an interview with them, and they talk about the author who wrote all the Conan stuff. I forget his name.
Robert E. Howard.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, we're heavily inspired by him, and then we sing about a lot of his stories and everything. That's why it's called the Sumerian.
That's wild.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
do they have any albums out?
Yeah. They have 2 EPs, a full lengths coming out, which we talk about if you watch the interview. And they're getting some really killer art done for it and everything. So it's pretty cool. It's it's funny, metal and nerd stuff collides. So It's kind of cool.
Yeah, as it should.
Hence why
As
I'm
it
even
should.
doing this. I'm a hardcore nerd, and like all this stuff. Again, it all builds up and it influences me. Horror movies, all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
killer stuff. But what have you guys been reading? What did you guys read this past month that really blew you away?
Mike, you
Who
want to
goes
go first, or let me go first?
Why don't you go first?
Well, I had two books that I definitely would want to talk about, and the first one is Doom, #1.
Oh yeah, I got something for that. Go ahead.
Okay.
You first. Maybe I can understand it better if you talk. Maybe you can make it exciting for me.
All right, it's a one shot. It's completely free of continuity. It takes place in the future, where Galactus has come. He's eaten Earth. He's eaten all of the superheroes of Earth, and the only two people that seem to be left are Valeria Richards and Victor Von Doom, and they have to figure out a way to stop Galactus. And it's a great character piece about the character of Doom, and like how he thinks about things, how he deals with things emotionally. It's just really cool. It's got a great ending that I think says a lot about the character, and it's just a damn fun ride, and something that I think they really need to be doing a lot more of, which is one-shot stories.
Is this the one issue? That's it?
It's just the one issue. This isn't a miniseries. This isn't connected to the current run of Fantastic Four in any way. You just read this book and you're good. And then Sanford Green is turning in the absolute best work of his career in this book. It's so good. It's gorgeous looking and just a really fun story too, where you get to see just a bunch of crazy shit happening. Because like I said, Galactus wins. So you see him like eating all of the cosmic Marvel superheroes and then eating all of Earth's superheroes. It's really cool. And like he's doing it all so that he can fight the Celestials, because the Celestials are trying to end all life as well. So it's like, who are you rooting for? Because it's two giant beings that are trying to end all life anyway. So is there a good guy or not in there? And just like I said, really, really gorgeous art, really fun ride. I really like that one.
Nice. Yeah, and I need to get a book, but I don't understand why it's so expensive. Mike, you probably got an opinion on that.
Well, first my review of it. I love Sanford Green's art as well. I thought the art was cool. But as for the story, again, I guess I don't know if it takes place in the Marvel universe proper. And I did not read Hickman's FF run. I read Secret Wars. I didn't like that. It's like Doctor Doom is floating and Valeria finds him, and they re-energize his body or whatever, and talk about Galactus eating things. I didn't learn maybe I missed it, but I didn't learn anything about Doctor Doom there. They just were talking about regenerating and Galactus eating stuff for 40 pages. And then at the end, I'm going to spoil it because I don't know what the fuck. Like, Doctor Doom comes out of the regeneration chamber and he's facing off against Galactus, and he's like, I am Doom or whatever, right? Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
No, that's the end. You don't get to see him succeed or not, but I think that's the point, because Doom could have run. At this point, there's nothing to gain from defeating Galactus. Earth is gone.
Because everything is gone.
Everything's gone.
So what the fuck are they fighting
Dr.
for?
Doom is like, nah, you don't beat Dr. Doom. And
so it's his ego or something.
Yeah. And I thought that was perfect characterization of the character.
You made it slightly better just now.
There you go. Now you enjoyed the book, right?
No, I still think Hickman's a hack. I don't know. I'm not a big multiverse guy, and that's why I'm not loving the current batch of the Marvel stuff in cinematic, where Doctor Strange dies and then comes back 2 minutes later as an alternate universe Doctor Strange. The stakes. I don't feel stakes. That's why I didn't like the Flash movie. Batman died like 8 times at the end,
Yeah.
and they just rewind 2 minutes.
Mhm.
I didn't like the Flash movie that much.
Yeah, but I was excited for the Doom one shot. I agree. I think there needs to be more one shots. Um, I wanted something that was a little more Doom centric for myself, and I guess just I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's over my head. Probably over my head.
What else did you read this month, Mike? Then
I read this. So remember how I don't hate every book. I love most books, but the Deadpool series #1, I thought that sucked too. This is good.
see,
This
I didn't have that on my list. I want to get the Deadpool Wolverine.
This
It's
is
really
a lot
good?
of fun.
Damn,
It's
Yeah.
a 3-issue
Jeff, if you
miniseries.
could get me a second printing, I would love that, please.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Veggie. So it's Deadpool Wolverine WW3. So I thought it meant World War III. But then I had this epiphany while reading it. What's Deadpool's real name?
Wade Wilson.
Wade.
Wade Wilson III,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
But haven't they fought before?
They fought before. But this is fun. They're not hired by the same client, but they're on a mission to kill this bad guy, and they're trading quips, and they're stabbing each other and shooting each other more than they're going after the bad guy in this issue. But Deadpool's tricky. I haven't read a lot of Deadpool comics, but when you're writing a character that's supposed to be funny and you can't land jokes, it's bad. That's why Rob Liefeld Deadpool doesn't work. Even though Rob created the character, he's just not a funny joke writer. But when other people who are naturally funny come in and write Deadpool, it's good, and that's why I think Deadpool works better as a live action movie character than he does a comic character a lot of times, because Ryan Reynolds has good comedic timing, and but this works about as closely as I've seen Deadpool working in a comic book, and there's some funny jokes. The art is amazing. Adam Kubert, if you don't know, I mean, he's still got his chops. He's been in the game for a while, but the art is great. And I know this is a 3-issue miniseries, so the first issue came out, I think, in April or maybe earlier May. But by the time the movie comes out, I bet you the trade will probably be on shelves, because #2 and 3 still have to come out.
Nice.
But yeah, I highly recommend Deadpool, and I love that low commitment, man. That's what Doctor Doom one shot, Deadpool Wolverine 3-issue miniseries. Okay, put it on my pull. Not a big commitment,
Those
there.
seem to be my favorite books nowadays. I'm tired of all these tie-ins. Like, my God, like.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk about something right now because, like, I'm kind of intrigued by it because I read the first issue of Marvel's Blood Hunt, and I was like, oh, this seems like it'll be cool. But then there's like all these tie-ins and all this stuff.
I think there's 60 of them.
God. But I'm like, this looks pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys read it yet, but
I read both issues. Yeah, not any of the tie-ins.
no, I've only read the one main story. It seems like a lot of the tie-ins sometimes are just worth it. There was only one series where I collected everything. What was the one? Was it Secret Wars where the Hydra? That was when Captain America was like, I'm Hydra.
No, that was
what was the other one? What was that?
Secret Empire.
Secret Empire,
Yeah,
yes.
Secret Empire,
I collected
that was
that entire run. I have all the tie-ins. I have everything. It's all in the Secret Empire box, everything. And after that, I was like, half these issues were just useless. Like, all these tie-ins were so pointless. I'm like, all right, I'm never going to collect a full run again, like, unless there's something really worth it. But it doesn't seem like any of these
I think that decompression is killing comic books. I think that if you turn in an issue and you can't say this is the issue where blank happens, then you need to go back to the drawing board and start over.
They just do it just to, like, oh, let's just put that title on there so somebody will grab it because, like, oh, you need to read it because of this. But half the time they're just so pointless. It's just like you could just read the main story.
Well, and it's like, what a side character is doing while all this happens. Well, it's like, well, there's no stakes in that. It's not the person that's fighting the big bad guy.
No.
It's not the person that has any effect on anything.
No.
It's just exhausting.
Yeah, I guess unless you really want all that extra lore and everything, but to me, it's just not worth it.
No.
But is there anything else you guys read? Because I got a whole stack I'll go through. I actually read a lot.
I got one more that I really want to talk about, and that was Robin the Boy Wonder.
You said that was really good.
A Black Label book.
Ooh.
That's the origin of Damien, and it's the best Damien story I've ever read. We're one issue in. It's the best Damien story I've ever read. It looks like Mike Mignola art. It's gorgeous. It's about him trying to fit in to the Bat family, and it is told from his point of view, and it does such a better job of any other book I've ever read about the character, of explaining why he's such an ass and why he always messes with all of the Robins. And it's like, because it's just full on jealousy, and he's upset that Bruce Wayne's 3 adoptive kids like get him better than his real kid does, and like he doesn't know his place, and so he decides, okay, I'm going to just follow the Robins around and see what they're doing. And so the first issue is him following Dick Grayson and Nightwing around, and by the end of the issue he kind of admits in the voiceover, it's like, okay, I kind of see why Dad likes this guy. And he doesn't say it out loud. It's in his thoughts, because he would never admit that to Dick. And I thought that was just, it was filled with great moments. It was filled with gorgeous art. I can't wait for the graphic novel to come out, because I can actually sell that rather than selling people a commitment to buy 5 comic book series. I think if what you're selling is a graphic novel, then just sell us the graphic novel. Why bother with these single issues of miniseries? Like, the reason comic books exist is to sell comic book sized stories. So if you're not doing that, stop selling comic books. Just straight up sell us the graphic novels.
That's what it seems like. Some of those Black Label books, they could just come out in one big trade, or one graphic novel.
Because I finished the first issue, and I was like, oh man, if this was a full story that I could hand to my customers, I would sell 20 copies. But because everybody I have to sign up is then signing up to buy 4 more issues across 5 months minimum.
And do we have
does anybody have
do they have the patience to wait for all of that?
Yes, exactly. I would never want to invest in human beings' patience. And that's what Marvel and DC is doing, and they keep doing it. And I'm like, that is not a good idea.
Because, I mean, I love the Black Label books, but to what you're saying, I think the Black Label books should just be standalone graphic novels. Because as I do enjoy that big magazine size, it would be better as a big magazine size, big thick book, and that's it. Instead of having all these weird, give me one hardcover book with all those stories in it that you could release all.
Well, you look at what the most successful comic books are right now, and they're manga or YA books, and all of them are giant stories in one volume.
That you just need to buy one thing.
Yeah, and I really wish Marvel and DC would look and say, okay, that's where our business model is heading. Comic books need to be standalone stories. And if we have big stories, then they get released as a graphic novel.
Yeah, that'll be an arc or something. Speaking of which, because there's I'm buying 50 billion issues at a time. Do you have any long boxes, Jeff?
I only have short boxes right now.
Yeah, so just that's a little side note for us right now. I need
somebody
some
else
short
asked
boxes.
me do we have a lot of short boxes for sale, Jeffrey? Somebody else was asking me for some last week.
I have like 10 or so short boxes, and I have the X-Men short boxes are coming in pretty soon for the new series. Each have their own box, and I've ordered a few of those.
Sweet. Okay. Because I'm staring at a stack of comics just in a shelf. I'm like, okay, I have nowhere to put all these. But Speaking of which, is there anything else you guys want to run down, or I'll talk about some of the books that I've read this week?
No, those Doom and Bat Boy Wonder is what I really wanted to talk about.
Hell yeah. Well, I know, Mike, you've been reading Napalm Lullaby.
Yeah. Are you ahead of me now? Because I haven't read that one yet.
So I haven't read issue 2. I read this one thinking I read issue 2, but I realized I didn't read issue 2 because I don't have issue 2.
Oh, shit.
So if you can write that down for me too, Jeff, because I didn't realize it, but I guess I skipped an issue on that. But I'm just
Jeffrey, you need to start showing up to these shows with a pen and paper, because I've noticed, I think Shane's ordered 5 books so far this hour.
I know. Wait, let me get a pen now.
I'm sorry. I'll definitely text you after.
Every customer. The Shane
text me
hour.
This is the Shane ordering hour. I am sorry. Just because, like, you
know
know what?
We're happy to help.
No, I mean, I still love picking up comics, and I'm fortunate that Jeff's still doing this, and I will always support him. But I always loved going in on New Comic Book Day because there was stuff on the shelf I would just love to pull. And then now it's like I need to be more cognitive of what I'm putting on my pull list in order to get pulled.
Not that I don't know if Jeffrey wants every customer to get in this habit, but I hit Jeffrey up every Friday or Saturday. I go through this thing called the FOC, the Final Order Cutoff. I see what's on there, and I hand pick, because they change the covers around last minute and stuff so often. So I go through there and I tell them I want this cover. I might be driving them nuts. I don't know. I hope not.
No. It helps me. I know to plug in an extra copy of all of those books.
Nice. I'm gonna have to start doing that now too. Sorry, I'm about to be the next difficult
I think
customer.
It's a good thing. I mean, yeah. So I go through and this week was pretty light, but sometimes I'll order like 15 specific, and sometimes it's like Conan. I get a lot of the covers. Like I just certain artists I follow, and when after you talk about your next book, I want to talk about this new artist that I've been digging a lot. You had mentioned him before, and it made me take a second look at him. I'm like, yeah, I really do like this person's stuff. So I'm trying not to fall in love with artists, but I can't help it.
I will say real quick, plug Feral. Feral is really fucking good. I'm really enjoying Feral. I still need to read Stray Dogs.
And I can't believe that you got into Feral without having read Stray Dogs, because that's
to me
the major selling point is, hey, did you like Stray Dogs? Here's Feral.
I will say this, for Feral, for somebody who hasn't read Stray Dogs yet, imagine a group of cats like on this cute cuddly adventure, but it's like zombies for them because everything's got rabies and everything, and they're trying to survive. And I'll be having like art and stuff come up, but Feral is really good, and I need to get the graphic novel for Stray Dogs, or the trade.
I have it.
Oh, really?
I have it with me on Wednesdays. So
okay, yes, if I could pick that up, that's another thing I can pick up.
They're up to 7 books now.
Yeah, right. But Feral is really good. I recommend that to everybody. Mike, what about you? Your artist you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so I've gone through all the books I've read this week, but yeah, this dude. So I have like artists that I collect most of their books, like most of their covers. Sean Galloway is one. He's got a fun like 80s animated style to his work. Peach Momoko, a lot of people have heard of. Sozo Micah is she's a great artist. Art Germ, I don't get all of his stuff because he produces a lot of work, but anyway, this artist here, Pablo Villalobos, the first cover of his that really caught my eye was this Birds of Prey #6 you can see here. And I ain't gonna lie, dude, I do like a beautiful female body in a hot tub, That's why I married my wife. So that was the first one, and Jeffrey, you remember how excited I was for that book. I was
yes.
like, I need to order 100 of these. It's gonna be hot. And I think it did get some heat, not like Dr. Doom level heat, but it got some heat. And then you had mentioned, Shane, that some metal guy,
Pablo Villalobos, right?
Yeah, well, he bought some original art.
Yeah.
This is the artist I'm talking about, Pablo Villalobos.
Yeah.
So I started looking at his stuff more closely. I'm like, wow. And he does have like kind of an Adam Hughes quality to his work. Very lifelike faces, but good action poses. Here's another one, She-Hulk, that he did. He did this cover of Wonder Woman, which I collect Wonder Woman anyway, but
I
that's a
haven't
cool
read
cover.
Wonder Woman in such a long time.
Oh, you need to read this new book, dude. It's up to issue 9, I think, 8 or 9 came out. It is so good. It is it's probably my favorite title coming out, right? No, my favorite title, it's a miniseries, and that's Batman Dark Age is my favorite book right now.
And I will go in, and I actually started reading. I read the first issue. To your points, I love this book. I think it's great. I think it's a great interpretation of him. You know, like you said, he's just like, fuck it, I'm a rich kid. I'm going to get bailed out of jail anyway. I don't give a shit. Until he does.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's,
I need to read issue 2 still, but.
And number 3 comes out this week. So I'm not sure if Jeffrey got extras, but number 3 will be out on Wednesday.
Why haven't I read it yet?
Did you get it? Did you already get your books for this week?
Yeah, DC usually shows up sometimes as early as Wednesday, the week before.
Oh, wow. I didn't know if did you get your Diamond stuff, or is that going to be Tuesday?
No, it's going to be Tuesday because of the holiday.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I just got to send you my list. But anyway, Wonder Woman is really, really good. The books I'm reading, like hardcore, is Wonder Woman, Batman Dark Age, Immortal Thor. I was liking Daredevil. I still get it, but I haven't been keeping up with reading it. So those are the ones that really... I'm looking forward to Grommets that's coming out this week. And that's like...
I got that for you.
Yeah, that's like an 80s skate punk comic book by Rick Remender and
really?
Brian Posehn. So, but yeah, Pablo Villalobos is the shit, dude. If you want to run like an art gallery of his stuff.
He does some really good pinup girl stuff, pinup model kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he also did the cover for the Taylor Swift comic, the unofficial Taylor Swift comic.
Really?
And I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm very tempted to go in on it. But it's like, it's stupid expensive, and I'm not a Swiftie. And I have other Pablo Villalobos covers, so I don't think I need it, but sometimes I feel like I do need it. You know that? You ever have that happen?
Yeah.
Well, I will say, to this point, too, this is another really good series. I'm caught up on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm enjoying that series a lot. I like how they're evolving with, Jameson, right? And Uncle Ben running their own newspaper. And then Peter's trying to struggle with, like, shit, I need to be a hero, and I kind of suck at it right now, and then, well, there's spoilers. Like, come on, it's been out a minute, and daughter finds out he's Spider-Man. He's trying to hide it from MJ and everything. I think it's pretty good. What else you got? Well, I'll just run through mine real quick. Older book that I need to actually see if there's a trade out for this or some other issues. Our Bones Dust, an Image comic. I thought it was pretty cool about like these aliens like looking at a post-apocalyptic Earth and they're like studying it and everything. It's pretty fun. Image comic. I always like a lot of Image stuff. Dawn Runner. I think I'm a few issues behind on this, but it just reminds me of Pacific Rim, which is really cool. They're like pilots fighting these like giant mechs, and it's a Dark Horse comic. The artwork's really cool on it. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't think I'm going to pick up any more about this, but because this is kind of whatever to me. Ultimate X-Men. Yeah.
I think that it's going to have a moment where everybody's like, oh shit, I need to go back and get all of these issues.
I hope.
And it just hasn't happened yet.
Because right now I'm reading and I'm like, it's kind of whatever. The art's cool, but the story's whatever to me. I'm not really...
It's because it doesn't connect to the X-Men yet. And I think the moment where you realize that it's an X-Men book is the moment where people are going to be like, oh snap, I need to go back and get all these issues.
Fine. Maybe I'll still keep picking it up then. We'll see what happens. White Rivals, number 9 came out.
That was a fun one.
That was a very good issue. They finally find... slipping my mind right now. They're running away from the one bounty hunter guy, and then he's fighting the Transformers. Like, what are you? Like, leave me alone. Like, he's just like kind of swatting him away. He's like, yeah, what are you? You're annoying.
No, that was a fun fight scene, and it's not over yet.
And then these are pretty good. I actually like this Kid Cudi's comic, Moon Man. Actually pretty good. About him, like, it's kind of reminds me like Fantastic Four, where they get like he gets hit by like moon radiation or something, and then he's like, becomes like kind of a superhero. It's not that big of a spoiler, but it's kind of interesting. I like it so far. And then obviously got caught up in Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah, did you read the last one?
Yes, issue 5.
Oh,
very good.
Thought it was great. Thought it was a great conclusion.
And now he's bringing in Destro into the fold. But however,
Yeah,
I'm behind on Duke though, and I think I'm missing.
I think that Cobra Commander is much better than Duke.
Yeah, because that's one thing I like, that you could treat each one of these books separately. But there's little tidbits where they say what happened. You know, oh, we were talking. You know. Because Destro references what happened into the last Duke issue, so it kind of fills you in there. So it's kind of cool at that aspect. It's like you don't really need to go back and read that.
In a way that's like a wink and a nod, but it's not connected in a way where you have to have read every damn issue.
Yeah.
Like X-Men is, where you're like, if you haven't read all 5 of these miniseries that are going about the end of the Krakoan era, you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's like we've got the guy for one panel complains about what happened in Duke, and that's the connection. That's it. And I think that that's going to be to their long-term benefit doing it like that.
Exactly. So, anything else we want to talk about that's coming out next month that you're really excited about, Jeff? Mike?
Next month, man, I'm just the regular books. I'm gonna be hitting the books. I'm studying all through June and through half of July. I didn't do this on purpose, but all my shit will be done study wise and everything mid-July, which is right before San Diego Comic-Con. Ironically enough,
you hitting Comic-Con?
Oh yeah, I'll be down there.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the third week in July. Oh, I'm going to a concert. I mean, that's not really comics, but
that don't matter. It's still cool.
I'm gonna go. It's a free show. It's I think it's at the Monty. It's a band called Cunts.
Oh yeah. You were telling me. Where is it at?
Yeah, at the Monty Bar. I'll send you the info. But it's free. It's a free show. 21 and up. So yeah, I'm holding off on buying their album because I want to buy it directly from them at the show. They have a new album out that I've heard some stuff. It sounds great. But that's the only thing I've got in June, the month of June, that I'm doing and then studying, dude. So you got to get out and blow off a little steam. I'm sure there'll be a mosh pit there, you know. And like Adam West, I am young enough to get in the mosh pit.
I have way too many shows coming up. I'm going to that No Values, that big punk show.
Oh, I know. We want to go. Yeah. That's going to be great.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? Any new books coming out? Anything you're excited for? You got anything going on in the next month?
I mean, I'm so excited for the next issue of a couple of these books, but it's funny because they're all like they're all Black Label books. It's the Batman Dark Age, it's the Robin the Boy Wonder. They've got a new one from the Dark Knights of Steel, which is like my favorite book of last year. They're doing a sequel, prequel, sidequel, whatever, of a different character that wasn't part of the main story. So I'm really excited about that as a new number one. I guess if we need to talk about a number one, that would be the one I'm most excited about. But really what I'm most excited about is just the next chapter of Dark Age and the next chapter of Robin the Boy Wonder.
Oh yeah. Well,
I didn't get that. Could you?
And just the continuation of Ultimate Spider-Man, just because I know there's a payoff coming.
I know.
It's the origin of Spider-Man. Somebody's got to die.
Exactly.
And it's got to be Peter's fault.
I think it's going to be MJ. I'll just make that prediction now.
No.
I don't think that would be a bad move, because that's the only thing that people are excited about with the book, but maybe that would be a good move then. Huh?
And then he just gets real dark and evil, and then he starts killing people instead of capturing them.
No, I think it might be Gwen.
And then it drives Harry off the deep end?
Yeah.
Yeah. we'll see. I mean, they did reveal in issue 4 that she knows that he's Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you didn't tell your wife? You didn't tell MJ?" He's like, "No, I mean..."
No, if you ask me to guess, but I hope that I'm wrong because I don't want to be able to guess it, it would be that like Harry calls Peter for help. Says, "Hey, I'm going to do this thing. I need your help." But then Peter's like, "No, I'm doing this thing with my family or this personal thing." And he doesn't go and somebody dies and Harry blames him. So then Harry kind of sees Peter as the bad guy, even though they're both on the good guy's side. But then Peter still learns that lesson of somebody dying because of his inaction.
Could be the next Jonathan Hickman, literally.
No,
It's not hard. I read Doom. Just kidding.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. That's definitely an interesting take on it. But before we go, is there anything else you guys want to plug? Anything else going on? When's your book coming out, Mike?
Oh, Shadow Called Danger?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought it was coming out in June, right? It's coming up this month?
I hope so. I mean, I am the problem there. I need to write some more. My artist has been cracking the whip on me, and I've been we have a lot of material already, but we want to get more done before we start putting it out. So I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
I take advantage of that holiday.
Yeah, well, try.
Sounds
Got a lot
good.
going on. But yeah, I'm going to try to squeeze some writing time in tomorrow.
Nice.
Definitely. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, right. Real quick, you didn't recommend whether to see Furiosa or not.
Absolutely recommend it. For a couple, did you like Fury Road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw it in IMAX. I recommend seeing it in IMAX. Look, dude, I bought the freaking popcorn bucket and cup.
Is there any cool, like weird, like phallic looking things that you know, or like weird?
Any
tentacle
toothy
things?
vaginas?
No, it's not a bucket.
No, it's
No,
not. No.
it's just a bucket. But no, it's great. It's really great. It's it's an eyegasm, like Fury
Nice.
Road was. I don't necessarily know what they were running from or running towards, but you don't care. Yeah. And again, there's nothing coming out. You know, there's really nothing coming out this year. You got Deadpool, Wolverine, you got Beetlejuice. As far as movies to get jazzed about, I mean, Borderlands. We're gonna go see it, but we're just gonna go see it. You know,
There's
like
nothing
okay,
else. Digging kind of deep there.
The thing that Furiosa got me excited about was George Miller's the director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, still 79.
He said that he wants to do Thor 5 now because he loved working with Chris Hemsworth so much.
Awesome.
That would just be, oh man.
That'd be cool. Really good action
that
scenes.
movie bombed, but not of no fault of George Miller. Do you guys like Monty Python stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You like Monty Python?
Yeah.
Love Monty Python.
Okay, well, Hemsworth's character is essentially a Monty Python villain.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I heard that same exact comparison. It's kind of like dry humor, kind of stiff humor, kind of like, hey.
Yeah, just and he's got his band of like buffoon.
Yeah.
Warriors.
I already wanted to see it. You're just selling me more. Huh?
No, go see it, dude. I'm telling you. I mean, don't take the kids, Jeffrey. But
My 4-year-old's not going to enjoy this one.
I really like. I mean, I love Fall Guy too. I thought everybody should have seen that in the theater. But yeah, this is, and they're not going to make they're not going to make another movie in this world. You know, due to the box office of this.
Probably
I don't see
not
that.
anytime soon. Yeah, they're gonna give
Yeah,
it a long
and George
time.
Miller's 80, so
Yeah.
do the math.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I think that's it for this episode. I think we covered a bunch of things. We had a good discussion
we
about
did.
some comics.
Yeah.
Talked about a bunch of stuff. But I do want to say we are planning on for the next month's edition of this, we want to do it live, where we're going to have
It
people
gets lonely
chime
in here.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
lonely in here. As well as nobody has taken me up from the first episode where I offered to give away a bunch of comics. So maybe we'll do it live, and I have the little chat bot, and like you press a number and you get entered in a raffle, and then we can win. You can win.
There
stuff.
you go. What kind of stuff are you giving away?
I would like to give away comics. I'll give away whatever, I have some freebies.
Oh, dude,
I'll
that's like going out on a first date with a lady and like, what do you want to eat? What do you want? Oh, whatever you want. Okay, come on, sex it up. What are we gonna?
Oh
what are
no,
you
like
giving away?
I said, I still was gonna give away one first issue of every issue of the
Energon universe.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah. And nobody
That's
took me
sexy.
up on that offer. Like I offered that. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Um,
Maybe they don't know what it is.
Or maybe I'll pick up some trades from Jeff, and we'll just hey, we got these trades. We'll just give away some
There you go.
trades, whatever we got, But we want to do it live next time, so we'll start spreading the word this episode. We'll clip this out, start getting that on the social media train, so you get your questions. You can talk to us live, tell us what you've been reading, what you're
get some
listening
free
to.
comics.
Do it
get some
live.
free comics, right?
I got to get you. I got some tapes and records of Chuck Beebe's previous band. He
Hell
gave me
yeah.
a bunch of copies when it first came out.
Nice.
So I got some hooch for you, some metal hooch.
As well as I will say we're starting to get guests on, and we will be announcing that soon. Start bringing some people on to hang out with us too live. We should just
Very
keep it
cool.
that way. So we're looking forward to this new edition that we're going to go into. Please let us know down in the comments. Like, subscribe. I will tag Mike's page and Jeffrey's comics down below, and let us know what you've been reading this month. Let us know what you've even been listening to and watching and all that good stuff. But until next time, everybody, take it easy.
Have a good one, everyone.
Deuces.